Morgan Wright and former FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer. It is good to have you both. Thank you, thank you, thank you. First, help me with this, Mr. Cyber. Activity in the Bitcoin wallet. We know that Harvey doesn't want to disrupt and give away information into the investigation that can in any way be deleterious to their efforts. I respect that. But what does that mean that there's activity in the wallet, and why would we believe that the letter is legit and connected to the guy we saw on the screen?
I think right now they're mutually exclusive, Chris, and thanks for having me on. I think they're mutually exclusive. For one thing, just from a pure Bitcoin standpoint, look, the FBI has become masters at this. 26 years ago, I conducted training for the FBI's computer analysis response team. The student has become the master. They are great at doing this. There is some techniques, this stuff you can find on the internet, so I'm not going to give it away, but it's called an unspent transaction output. In other words, in a dormant account, you can send a very small amount. They call it a dust transaction, and it triggers some additional forensic things you can do. So if the amount's small, not very big, then you would actually be able to trigger some additional forensic things. And for me, the reason I say that's separate from this, I still look at it from a behavioral standpoint. I look at from a probable cause, let's say from that standpoint. The ransom communication never got to the point where I felt that there was evidentiary, it reached an evidentiary level. Evidence of claim is not evidence of control. They claimed they had her, but as far as I know, at least with the reporting, there's never been incontrovertible information provided that says they absolutely have Nancy. That's why I think they may be the same people, but I think you can have both of these exist at the same time without being in conflict.
Evidence of claim, meaning you say you have, does not mean you have. That is a very important distinction, and thank you for that. Coffindaffer, when we look at this, do you see a savvy operative? What do you see in this video?
I do not. I see a man who approaches there with a gun that is in an unsecure holster. He's incompetent from the standpoint, he doesn't even have anything to cover up that camera. He goes and pulls some twigs to try to cover them. He's clearly unprepared in this way, and seems like this might be one of his first abductions.
Now, you told me once, Jennifer, it worries you when someone's unsophisticated because it means that they may get spooked and do the worst things possible. Why?
That's exactly true, Chris, because individuals who would do something like this are desperate. So for this individual to make this decision, obviously unsophisticated, untrained, not military, not police, in my opinion, he's in a desperate situation.
Morgan, let me ask you the tough unknown here, which is, as you are assessing this situation and you see the video of who this is, we keep hearing about activity around the family's residence, okay? The sister specifically tonight. Is there a universe of suspicion where it's, well, we don't think it's her, we don't think it's her husband, but in most abductions, it is someone familiar to the abducted that could be a friend of the family?
You know, and Jennifer knows this too from her work and my work. A lot of times when you look at certain crimes or violence crimes, there's a nexus between the victim and the offender some point prior to that. And so I look at what was the nexus? Well, if they're over there, then the nexus was Nancy arrived in an Uber to eat dinner and spend time there. If somebody were in that neighborhood and saw her arrive and knew who she was, then they might infer from that is that she's not at the house, and that would give them the opportunity to go there. So the nexus could have been when Nancy showed up for dinner, they could have inferred from that she's staying the night or not leaving and gone from there. But it's, yeah, what you're looking for is that area requires, I think, local knowledge. It's like a bowl of spaghetti. You turn it upside down, the roads go everywhere. So you have to know. And there's a level of confidence. She was talking about it too. That guy standing there is not disturbed at this point. He doesn't look sophisticated, but he is not under any time constraints at this point. If you're doing a forced abduction and you've got a target, you're in there, you acquire the target, you get off the X, you get him into a vehicle, and then you exfil out of the area. The more time you spend, the time decays, the higher your risk goes for getting caught. So I think there will be some intersection between Nancy and this person when all the facts come out.
That's a great point, Morgan, about the nonchalance. Jen, what is the chance that that little stroll the guy takes is proof that he thought he may know where there was a key? By the way, my 16-year-old suggested that to me when we were watching the video. And I was like, I wonder why he walks over there. And she said, well, maybe that's where he thought they kept the key. What do you make of
I
that?
think it'd be interesting that that could be the case, because I'll tell you what, I don't see on that door and didn't see on that door afterwards signs of forced entry. Now, this guy, it's possible he could be sophisticated enough to understand how to pick that lock without causing any issue. But I tell you, this seemed quite unforced in terms of the information we have and the photographs that we have after.
I mean, why else would the guy walk there and look under a bush like that, Morgan, right? I mean, sometimes people do things because they're just messed up people who do stupid things, but you got to think about it anyway, right?
You know, the challenge in law enforcement is you usually don't always catch the smart ones. This guy has left enough of a trail of clues is that I think whoever he is, and whether he had somebody else, that's the other question too, right? Could one person have controlled Nancy, get her out of the house, she was bleeding, get her into a vehicle and leave? So we have somebody obvious here. The question is, did he have a compatriot? But yeah, going and grabbing the bushes. If you knew that there was a camera there and you knew that you're going in to abduct somebody, I think I would have thought you would have come more prepared, but he's too comfortable there, right? He has a level of comfort in that area that is unnatural. But when you look at the backpack, we see this with serial burglars, serial thieves. They hit multiple places in one night. They use the backpack to keep their hands free. So I'm wondering, was this going to be the first of many, or was she targeted? Were there any other reports of burglaries in the areas, automobile vehicle break-ins, anything like that?
One more reason that this is a case unlike any other I've ever covered. And it's another weird thing that I have not seen before. Morgan, thank you so much for adding to our understanding. Appreciate it. Jennifer, as always, appreciate you for breaking it down.